The Wrestling Mayhem Show recommends highspots.com for all of your wrestling needs. Whether you're a wrestling fan, worker, or promoter, looking for figures, DVDs, or equipment, Highspots has what you're looking for.
Hi, I'm Sorgatron from the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Whenever I want to buy my Lita and Edge figures so I can make them anatomically correct with some model paint and have my very own live sex celebration, I get them at highspots.com. But not the modeling paint.
Click the link for Highspots on WrestlingMayhemShow.com to support the show when you want to purchase anything wrestling related. Highspots has what you're looking for.
What's up, everybody? You've got the soon-to-be Pulitzer Prize award-winning author and agent to the stars, the pop superstar crossover mainstream media sensation GQ Money, and I listen to the Wrestling Mayhem.
Wrestling Mayhem Show.com.
It's the best day of the week. Today is the day that you have chosen to listen to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. This is DJ Lunchbox, putting it the fuck down for you. Let's fucking do this. Monday night, you know it must be raw. Leaders being a whore and not wearing a bra. Seen his damn belt still spinning around his waist. I can ship at a rhymes on what comes out of his face. Tuesday night and it's EC Dub. Michael Q Knoxville join the club. If he's sick of the shit, scream out boo boo. This ain't EC Dub and we can tell that too. Wednesday night, ROH on DVD, the best wrestling on the planet to the nth degree. Joe Damon's Delirious, Daniel City, Kim McCarthy, Homicide, the Rottweilers, and Kenta Kobashi. Thursday night, TNA on Spike. Bruce is spoken, so that means I'm puking blood tonight. Shut up and show me the damn X division and get SoCal balance in my line of vision. Friday night SmackDown, this is all life. Kicking back, watching wrestling every night. Kenny, Boogeyman, Helms, Hardy, Guerrero, London, Kendrick, and the Stealing Show. RWF Scion in the weekly features. You're a student, we are the teachers. Shout outs to Jimbo's crew and to the D's, putting it down for Vim with the grace of ease. Wrestling Mayhem.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Wrestling Mayhem Show, the mayhemist of all wrestling shows. It is 214, the episode number. It is April 13th here, the fourth month of the year. Lots of stuff going in. We're hot off Legends. Had a great time up there in Franklin, PA. Had a really interesting weekend when it comes to wrestling. And as always, drug straight from the deep Arctic nether regions is my cohort from another dimension, DJ Lunchbox.
Evening, folks. What you got right here is DJ Lunchbox, a.k.a. Velociraptor Clint Thrust, a.k.a. Bold Big Flank, a.k.a. Thick McRun Fast, a.k.a. Big McLarge Huge, a.k.a. your dear old Papa Lunchbox. And Papa Lunchbox, I'll be honest, I'm a little under the weather this week, and I just want to let you in on this. It's an ingenious little illness, okay? Every time I move my eyes, not my head, mind you, my eyes, I get dizzy. Now, compile that constant effect over the span of about 2 days, and my friends, you may as well be strapped to the mast of the motherfucking good ship Lollipop. Seasickness is an understatement, my little sinners, so bear with me as we adventure this evening through the world of grappling and oh-so-violent violence.
Fantastic. What a way to start the... If we can get through it with your sickness there, Lunchbox. But
I'm raring to go. It's weird. Back when I was in college, I would have creator's block. I went to art school, for y'all who don't know. Mm-hmm. And when I couldn't come up with a design, I'd really fucking sick, and I'd puke for like half an hour. And at the end of that half an hour, it would just appear to me the design I needed right there in my fucking head was right there after throwing up for a while. And let me tell you, I puked my brains out right before we came on the air here, and I'm feeling pretty fucking good. I'm feeling pretty fucking good about the Mayhem Show this week. It's gonna be fantastic. We got the sexiest, nakedest, most amazing wrestler ever, Juicy, Deeeelicious, Jimmy DeMarco, Deeeelicious. That's his new name. I just made it up.
Huh.
Got a thing for yarmulkes. Oh, it's true. So he's going to be calling in eventually at some point here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and it's going to be spectacular. Everybody knows it.
Excellent. Of course, yes, Jimmy DeMarco. Yes, I know we said he was going to be in studio, but I got a text about an hour before the show saying that he was not going to be able to make it. He's getting tied up Of course, when Jimmy DeMarco tells you he's getting tied up, you don't know how literal to take it, so do not ask any questions. And we're going to have him on the phone in about 20 minutes time now. So thank you for not writing any emails in, people, to goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com, because obviously we wouldn't have time for it anyways. That's right. I don't know what, I know last week's show was rough. I don't know if it was that bad. We scared all of you away, but we'll do better. But Mayhem Missy, she's one that of course wishes she'd be on the show, but unfortunately her I understand her environment is what's keeping her from at least joining us on the phone lines. That's what I'm told. That's what she's told me. She said I can't come on the show with the people around me. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Draw your own conclusion. So, but she did send in an email. And
she means the Mexicans.
She means the Mexicans?
Yeah, Mexicans don't understand the internet.
Oh, there you go.
They think it's a myth.
There you
go.
Like
me and electricity.
Wait, you don't believe in electricity, or you are a myth to electricity?
No, I don't believe in electricity. Okay. I think it's a myth.
All right. It's like the Force. So, all right.
Yeah, no, the Force is real.
Oh, okay. Well, we got an email from her. Of course, both of us and Doc Remedy, of course, attended, participated, whatever, in Night of Legends IWC up in Franklin, PA, which was a great time. I had a ball there at ringside with the camera in my hand as usual. Some really good moments I'm not going to forget anytime soon. But she writes in, "Hi Mayhem dudes. You may or may not know that IWC is fresh off their annual star-studded Night of the Legends show, I'm sorry. Now, I've been going to IWC for years and years now, but this was my first Legends show. In a nutshell, here's what happened. The Genius recited poetry. Chuck Roberts did the Bird with Coco Beware. Sorg filmed the $1 Million Man. Yes, and it was fantastic. The $1 Million Man was awesome. Old wrestlers were bitter. Virgil paid more attention to the crowd than the match he was in. That's par for the course. Brutus the Barber wore tassels and mesh and looked nothing like he used to. Yeah, unfortunately, being at ringside, I noticed his nipple rings. His nipple rings. Whoa. And it looks like I don't think his like tassels didn't match his tights. It was really weird. Raven may or may not have hit on me. I can share that sentiment. Chest Flexor actually showed some merchandise, and a fan told Honky Tonk Man that Santino was a better IC champion than he was. Oh, and Flexor fell victim to the $1 Million Dream. I'm sure some other stuff happened too. Sorg, you can add to my list if I missed anything important. P.S. If I keep selling DVDs, can I get a Sweet Digital Horizons shirt too? Till next time, stay classy, peeps. Mayhem Missy. Yeah, Mayhem Missy got to help the video crew since we were a little short-handed there. But the DVDs fly off the shelf when she's behind the table. So I understand she was doing pretty good up in Clearfield too. So,
God damn it.
You go right over there.
I'm fine. Just for some reason, there's still no cursing happening in the chat. That upsets me.
Sorry about that.
We can't turn that on, can we?
I don't think we can with Ustream. Let's see. We have to contact it.
Fuck that and fucking Ustream and fuck.
Dude, remember Blog TV? Remember, what else did we use?
That's what I got to say to you, because you're fucking probably in another country censoring me. So, yeah, I know what that means.
Hold up the two fingers there. That's...
Yeah, there it is.
No, you give a thumbs up, remember? With your right hand.
That is my right hand. Don't reverse my shit, Sorg.
I can't tell from this angle. I'm not censoring you. Definitely not on this show.
Or what is it? This. I got your nose thing. That apparently means fuck you back in the day.
Wow.
I learned that shit when fucking Da Vinci painted the Sistine Chapel. Who painted it? Michelangelo. I don't know or care. He painted himself as a cherub doing that at the Pope. And when they liked it and they said, come back, we want you to paint more. He said he didn't fuck around. He straight up painted the gates of hell behind the Pope's chair. He did not like the Pope. This is a true
So,
fact.
so he's not a very devout person to have done such a spiritual piece like that.
That's exactly right. Well, no, he was into the spiritualism. He just didn't like the Pope. I wouldn't like the Pope either. If he
I
was
don't think people are too happy with him right now.
Like fantasy.
People are not too happy with him right now. So, well,
Yeah.
anyways, but that's not for this show, certainly. We did get
touching kids. Speaking of touching kids, James Demarco will be on in a little bit.
Yes. Before we get to that, I've had him held on the line here for 6 minutes, so I want to get him up. Mad Mike, you're on the line.
6.5
Oh my God!
minutes, Sorg.
Oh my God! Sorry about that. Girl boobs.
Yeah, sorry. 6.5 minutes,
Sorry.
Sorg.
Sorry. The one with boobs wrote in, and obviously she had precedence over you. Precedence.
Of course. I was just explaining in the chat room, girl boobs are infinitely better than guy boobs, which are mine.
Obviously.
Yes.
So bear with us. We are having a little bit of connection trouble again. I'm going to try and fix that by the end of the month, guys. So tell us about your exchange you had with somebody today.
Mad Mike has developed a new catchphrase.
Fuck you, Taz?
No, that was my old catchphrase.
Oh, okay. All right.
My new catchphrase is, tweet me if you can, survive if I let you.
Okay. Now what happened? Now you
All right.
I happened to turn on the tweet deck today during one of my renders at work, and you happened to be into it with one the Taz. That's the current announcer for TNA. Tell us what happened.
Okay, well, basically this happened. As most of you know, I'm a Yankees fan, diehard Yankees fan. And I was watching the game today, and Taz made a comment because apparently he was watching the game as well, being a New Yorker.
Yeah.
And he was saying one of the announcers who works on the Yankee entertainment station was being a homer because he was pimping out the Yankees. I take issue with this because I don't think Taz knows what being a homer means. So I tweeted him, and I believe I said something to the effect of, the guy's name is Michael K.
Okay.
And I said something to the effect of, he works at. Hold on, let me see if I can. All right, I got it. I said the guy works for Yes, so of course he pimps up the Yankees. You pimp up TNA. That doesn't make you a homer, does it? And Taz responded to me basically that like he pimps TNA, but he doesn't call it a real sport. He works for an entertainment company.
Yeah.
And I basically told him, I'm like, the guy is an announcer on the Yankee station. He's providing entertainment too. And the Yankees are the defending World Series champions, so I think, any pimping up that they get, they probably deserve a little bit of it. To which Taz responded, do the Yankees sell pay-per-views? To which I responded, does TNA?
But you did make an interesting point along with that.
Yeah. Well, yes. I know. I had to leave that on dramatic effect, Sorg.
Of course.
And then I said the Yankees sell merchandise and tickets, just like TNA does, and it's the announcer's job to make people want to come out and see the games. Because that's how the Yankees are the rich team in baseball, because everyone buys their merchandise, everyone comes to the stadium, and everyone pays the tickets.
And obviously, not every team remembers that, because the Pirates announcers sound bored as hell on FSN last night. Of course, they were down 6-3, but but they're definitely not helping to make it exciting. But I'm sure after seeing 150 games a year like that, So, anyways, so I just wanted.
And then Ted informed me that he tapped out.
That he tapped out of your conversation?
He tapped out and he said I knew more about the subject than he did.
Oh, there you go. We got that from Taz. Nice.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to touch base with you real quick. But we got your top 10 coming up. And I got to say, I was editing it earlier tonight, and I I think some of it stands for some discussion that we'll get to later in the show if I'm still fired up about it, and if Jimmy hasn't, I don't know, by then.
If Jimmy hasn't raped the phone and held the mouthpiece up to his dick yet.
I'm a little frightened by this, so at least I don't have to worry about physical molestation, but just maybe mental. So anyways,
Sorg, Jimmy Demarco can physically molest you over the phone.
I don't doubt it. Did anybody see his post he had on Facebook earlier today? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Doc Remedy actually sent it to me because he felt I certainly should have been warned. But there's definitely some commentary going on there. We'll get into that. I think in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get to the musical break, get to your top 10, and then we'll get right into our interview with one Deeeelicious Jimmy Demarco. Thanks for joining us briefly here, Mad Mike. We'll see you in a couple of segments, all right?
Alrighty.
All right, later.
Bye.
DJ Lunchbox, tell me, what are my ears going to be receiving right now on the Wrestling Mayhem Show?
Oh man. This week on the Golden Mayhem Show, we are going to kick things off properly. We know 3 things here on the Mayhem Show: wrestling, big barrows, and hip-hop. What Pop Lunchbox has for you is high class, top gear, lyrical activity. Camboy, a.k.a. Superstition. Sharing the mic with one of the most talented MCs in the world today. Next to me, of course, One Below, one of my all-time favorites. The song is Lifeline. I'm DJ Lunchbox, and it is the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
It goes down whether daylight or nighttime. The city say they gon' crack down and fight crime. I guess they must have overlooked the hoods like mine, cause we still waiting on a lifeline.
You wonder why I hustle, my life's on the line. You wonder why I hustle, my life's on the line.
I was born in them back roads where black folks had hopes of coming up slamming them Cadillac doors. Half of a snow stacking dough wasn't natural. They acting if so, brothers wasn't strapped for cash flow. We remain in pursuit of the loot and crazy honor. But why save for a future that seems way beyond us? We can't move up, we full of excuses. The only thing we have to up are children and baby mamas. Sneakers, speakers, 2 hands for rolling reefer. Coping with life lows, they blazing weed up. Feeling like we stuck, we fucked in the long run. Feeling like we got our own guns to come up on funds. That's why mine stay focused on the grind. They fuck nickel and dimes. They want Andre's entree, Kanye's promise state. All they get is blind faith. Only thing that's rising and climbing is the crime rate. It goes down whether daylight or nighttime. The city say they gon' crack down and fight crime. I guess they must have overlooked the hoods like mine, cause we still waiting on a lifeline.
You wonder why I hustle, my life's on the line. You wonder why I hustle, my life's on the line.
It's kinda like shoot 'em up, bang bang, Wild West mentality. Humanity's downfall, you can't blame the gravity. Blame it on the cowboy, it's okay, corral to me. Quick draw this enemy, so war paint the masterpiece. Thanks to Indians giving who never had a feast. Doc holidays, crime rates break the family. Me a starving artist still maintain the calorie. Cause once you go commercial, they name brand your cattle meat. Go behind your back, 10 pace and draw rapidly. Smoke tumbleweeds and Mary Jane calamity. Deadwood dicks and women who butch Cassidy. Homosexuality, AIDS plague the cavalry. Democracy, that's the code of the West. We in the land of the free sex, home of the stress. Buffalo Bills and mailboxes, Pony Express. They rip you up and put a big tombstone at your rest.
It goes down whether daylight or nighttime. The city say they gon' crack down and fight crime. I guess they must have overlooked the hoods like mine, cause we still waiting on a lifeline.
You wonder why I hustle, my life's on the line. You wonder why I hustle, my life's on the line.
Now where we stay, each day's like a scene from a screenplay, but multiply daily in the most obscene way. Felonious fellas step out the beam with a clean slate to find out the aspiration and dreams seem great. Your next door neighbors, the regular dope fiends place, and the ones above you have trouble speaking English. There's no ribbon in the sky, no gift and no prize, just more loaded guns than a Marine base. It sickens some men like influenza, so they feel like the whole world is pitted against them. Cause they live in the trenches with unlimited tension, having phantom dreams while driving that Civic or Sentra. The only interesting way to go is the pedal coat. For federal notes, they cock metal and let it blow. Bullets will make you smell like 57 Chevy smokes. It's do or die here like the day that the levees broke. When somebody keep telling you you cannot advance, you want somebody's hand to extend the olive branch. Pick you up from the bottom and steal you with knowledge, so you can see the same college as Rashad McCants. Maybe then your future wouldn't be grim looking, making the same as them white collar pin pushers. Instead of us being pulled by the arm, we gotta take the bull by the horns and rise up. Rise up, rise up.
This is Cody Diener. You're listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. And if anyone knows how to give her, it's Wrestling Mayhem. Give her. Woo-hoo!
Hey guys, it's Mad Mike once again for your top 10 list. With King of Trios coming up, and with all the talk of the greatest tag teams of all time on Raw this past week, I figure I'd give you my personal top 10 underrated tag teams. Number 10, London and Kendrick. Say what you will that these guys didn't get much competition, but they have the third longest title reign in WWE history. Number 9, the Natural Disasters. One of the best big man teams I've ever seen. Number 8, the Hollywood Blondes. Austin and Pillman never really got a chance to shine in WCW because they were broken up too early, but they had a really awesome gimmick and it led to a lot of the newer tags. Number 7, Mark Jindrak and Lance Cade. Say what you will about both these guys individually, but together they were a really talented team. Number 6, the Natural Born Thrillers of Mark Jindrak and Sean O'Hare. Along the same lines, but WCW, in their later run, had a lot of really awesome tag teams, and this was just one of them. Number 5, High Energy, the Rocket Owen Hart and Coco Beware. These guys always brought a lot to the ring, and they had a huge fan base. Number 4, the Eliminators, Saturn and Cronus from ECW. I think if these guys were in either WCW or WWE, they would have been huge money. And speaking of money, number 3 is Money Incorporated, Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster. Never really got the huge run that they should have deserved. Number 2, 3 Count. 3 Count was an awesome gimmick at the time of the boy band craze. And number 1, the Spirit Squad. It's a shame these guys were on Raw and fed as fodder to DX instead of being on SmackDown, and they could have actually had a 5-man demolition rule with the tag titles. Well, that's me for this week, and those are just 10 of the things I've had swirling around in my brain.
It's Sorg of the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
We're going streaking!
At WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
This isn't gonna cost me a toll, is it? It came up like a 100 thing.
No, it shouldn't, sir.
I'm kidding.
How you doing? Why not? We're back. Wrestling Mayhem Show. 214 on the line is Deeeelicious Jimmy Demarco. How you doing tonight?
Fucking Demarco.
How's it going? What are you up to tonight?
I'm in Mercy Hospital.
Okay, well, why is that?
I just came out of a testosterone coma from lifting too much weights in anticipation for this Saturday night at CCAC.
Okay. Yeah, for those now, I didn't have anybody scheduled. I figured it'd be laid back. We talk about legends. We talk about CCAC come up, but Jimmy comes up to me and says, Sorg, I got to come on the show this week. And I was like, why? He's like, to tell everybody about CCAC. I'm like, well, why not? Okay. Now, well, let's before we get into that, I saw a message today, Jimmy, on your Facebook. And first of all, I'm very disappointed that you're not here.
Well, I could have came, but the doctor recommended that I recover because every time I come to the studio, you try and grab on my dick, you smack me real bad.
Well, yeah, you know.
I remember the incident with the batteries and everything.
Yeah, it says, you said earlier, I'll be on the Wrestling Mayhem Show tonight trying to fight off that pervert Sorg sexual advances. Check it out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. But you actually got backup for this. Like Sean said, stop off at Radio Shack and get him some D batteries. What the hell, dude?
People remember D batteries because of what you did.
Yeah, allegedly.
Spooge.
Well,
you're just like that quarterback Roethlisberger. If I had some DNA in my butt, you'd be in jail right now, Sorg.
Yeah, did you see his hair? Did you see his Shawn Michaels-esque hair?
People keep talking about it. I haven't seen it, but I believe it. Cause, is his hair a wig? Did he get, like, mangled and fucked up in that car accident or motorcycle accident?
You think he's lost his follicles in the motorcycle accident?
No, I saw on ESPN before he had like a shaved head and getting the release from to save the rape there.
Well, of course, I want to touch on, of course, Night of Legends was this past weekend, and you were in a pretty big match.
I was. Did you think I hung up because I didn't follow up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorg, I can't wait to see you this Saturday. I'm just gonna grab you by your hair and have relations with your face.
Oh, okay.
I realize we're on P-Stream or whatever it's called, and I don't want to get you kicked off.
That's fine. You're not here, so I don't have to worry about you getting naked.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, dude. No, you can say whatever the fuck you want, dude.
Picture of your dong.
Yeah, that's. What
I can send you a picture of my penis, and it'll show up.
You can. No,
well,
that's fine.
If you send it to me, I can put it up.
Oh. I was saying that's sort but the naked picture of him up online. He's like he's a member of the IWC roster of sex tapes, scandals, and all that stuff.
What? I don't know what you think they do over at Digital Horizons, but.
Oh yeah, you know what's messed up about Digital Horizons? I'll tell you right now.
What's that?
If I can get off topic for a fucking second.
Go for it.
The Clearfield, you were there when that large sent me J-Rock and then the red picture of Shane Taylor.
Yeah.
They cut that shit from the DVD, and it's not on there. But on November 8th, 2009, Actually's balls are featured for about 4 seconds at the end of the match with the Irish Airborne and Vicky Gambino against Gambinos and Eric Exton. So how does full frontal male nudity testicles can be shown, but people defending my honor can't?
I don't know. I'm not the one to edit it. You have to talk to Tony F, who's editing those videos.
I encourage everybody listening to show up on Saturday and help me fight Ray Rowe.
Fight Ray Rowe?
Yes, I need help.
Are you turning?
He's very indestructible.
Are you turning this into a fan-induced lumberjack match?
I didn't say that. You said So any legal things that happen now are going to come on to you. Is Sorg a person? What's up? Not can't sue Sorg.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Sorg's your real last name. Oh shit. See, I always tell people to sue me Demarco because it's not my real name, so I find it funny when people want to sue me.
Yeah, that's true. So tell us about CCAC this Saturday and what you're going to do to Ray Rowe.
Oh, it's a big deal because we haven't been there in like 6 years, and a lot of great matches happen there. So
I don't think you have not been there since we started going, other than Mayhem Missy, of course.
No, the last CCAC show was Caged. Or no, it wasn't Caged. There was one after that. It hasn't been since 2004.
2004. Holy crap.
Yeah. So like Shima Zion, Jason Gorey, Facade, me, Ray Rowe, none of us have ever wrestled in that building before, so it's a big deal.
Really. And there's a lot of. Have you seen the latest video of your feud?
I have. I like it. I mean, I don't like the fact that Ray's kneeing me in my fucking head and elbowing me a bunch of times, but I like the dramatic stuff. JTM did a job.
Yeah, that's some pretty cool stuff. But hold on, I finally got a picture.
I've been in the Children's Mercy Hospital. I've been having this little Asian nurse break rocks over my head so I can prepare for Ray's knees.
Well, that's good.
Put me back up. I'm taking care of the picture situation.
Oh, he's got the picture right
I've
there.
got pictures.
But it's squarely on his chest, LB. It's a little weird and awkward.
It will be.
There's Jimmy Demarco last time he was on the show. After I think you ripped your shirt off, right?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. I came on with Chuck Roberts, and he made me behave when I came on with the IWC Championship. But the time before that, I ripped my clothes off, and I really wish I could have came tonight and ripped my clothes off because I'm in really good shape right now. Like my tits are bigger than most girls in the IWC crowd. if they want to prove me wrong, they can always flash me on Saturday.
There you go. Sorry.
Sorg, have your high def ready. Tony F said he's filming in high def on Saturday, Blu-ray, so everyone can see me really fuck Ray Rowe up bad in high definition.
Awesome. Here, they'll get one so you can see the rest of you there. We do have some questions for you. I wanted to bring up. If you haven't been, me stalling. Hold on. Belated, but I did get a text to say, "Hey Jimmy, hi from Mike in New York." So sorry I didn't catch you for that. But questions for you from the fans. Exactly how bad do you plan on embarrassing Ray Rowe this weekend? He asks.
Well, Ray Rowe, see, you know how I wear like long tights and I have boots that like tuck in and all that stuff?
Yeah.
It's very hard to pull them down unless I want them to come down. Ray Rowe wears those little trunks. I'm going to take his clothes off after I beat him, and I'm going to auction them off on IWC.com.
What?
He's going to feel stupid, too, because I've squeezed his testicles in my hand before, and I can easily fit them in one hand. With me, anytime he's ever had to grab my testicles, he's had to use two hands, and then there's room to spare. There's not room to spare. There's too much. He's having an overflow in his palms.
Dude, this shit reminds me of high school.
What?
Tell Mike from New York I said hello.
Mike. Okay, he's there in the.
Tell him I'm gonna mail him Ray Rowe's panties.
Oh, sorry. Apparently, I don't know what the hell you had up, LB, but apparently I just replaced your video with Jimmy's chest by accident. So sorry about that.
That's all right.
So. Another question. As the Mayhemers get prepared for the King of Trios, I wonder what a Jimmy Demarco sponsored trios team would be called, and who would it consist of?
Well, let me think for a second. It would probably be Chuck Roberts, Michael Scott from The Office, and Ben Roethlisberger.
Why Ben Roethlisberger?
Because the combined sexual deviance of Ben Roethlisberger and Chuck Roberts would be too much for anyone to handle.
He's not wrong.
It's not wrong. No.
Hold on, Sorg. I'm bringing those up.
Thank you. Next question. Now that Santonio Holmes is out of Pittsburgh, does that make the Deeeelicious one the most prolific cocksmith in all of the Steel City?
I wouldn't have called it a cocksmith. I mean, there's other more prolific ones in town.
Okay.
But I appreciate that. I'm not denying it.
So now that Mike has established you as a cocksmith.
The cocksmith. Why not?
Finally, when are we going to see the epic battle to end all battles? And I'm talking Demarco versus Flexor.
Hopefully soon, man. I hope it happens. It almost happened at Legends, but DiBiase told me he had Flexor under control.
Actually,
and then so he sold me a fucking t-shirt. I'm actually holding it right now, and I'm gonna have t-shirts on sale for the first time on Saturday. That's why I brought it up. This son of a bitch gives me a t-shirt, billion spelled wrong, power spelled wrong. The figure parentheses and commas and all that shit in billion are wrong.
There was the wrong number of zeros for billion. Like it was like
that's what it was.
Like
that's what it was. I know. I'm looking at the numbers and something's wrong.
So it was fantastic. It was a great first representation at the merch.
Did you notice during the auction when they're auctioning off the autograph flyers? The idiot Flexor stood up and just screamed, "$1 million!" and like 50 people in the crowd told him shut the fuck up, and Chuck Roberts told him shut up.
Yeah, I did see that.
Somebody bought one of his shirts just to rip it up and throw it in his face.
I actually did talk to the girl that was working there, and she said, yeah, this kid came up and wanted to buy a shirt.
You know that girl? Flexor bought her and imported her from another country.
So she's like an indentured servant?
He lives with a bunch of them. He lives in a house. Well, it's not a house. It's like a large condo in Portview, and he has like 15 to 16. They rotate on like a monthly basis. The 6 he buys from other countries, Germany, Canada, Poland.
I gotta ask first, Lunchbox, where did you get these pictures of Jimmy Demarco? Because he looks like 15 in that picture.
It's a really good picture. No, I got it from the official Jimmy Demarco Facebook page.
From his Facebook page?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And I like that when we were talking about Chest Flexor, that there was a picture of him hugging. There you go. There's him licking DeMarco's head.
Did you ever? If you go to Chest Flexor's Facebook, there's a picture of Chest Flexor and an IWC champion who shall remain nameless, dressed as Batman.
I'm looking right now.
His Facebook.
I think it's going to be up in a minute.
It's on his MySpace.
Oh, on his MySpace?
Yeah, not his Facebook, his MySpace.
Awesome. So how was it to team up? Well, first with Virgil, this past weekend.
All I have to say about the match is a very, very unique experience, and I'll tell you more details on Saturday if you ask me when I'm not on the air.
Well, he's always an interesting guy to talk to. But you were on a team with Virgil, Doink the Clown, and Lumberjack LaRue. Now I can't discount Lumberjack at all because the man brings a real axe to the ring.
Well, he was cool. Like Virgil didn't say 2 words to me backstage at all, and then we got to the ring. He's rubbing my shoulders and whispering, "Your son, you look like my son." And I kept turning around, and he was looking at people in the crowd saying, "This is my son." And I'm not making that up or fucking around either. That's what he was really doing.
Yeah, I heard that he was pretty involved with the crowd during the match. But
that is spectacular.
That's great.
Here you go.
I was holding Jake Christ outside the ring for DiBiase to chop him.
Mm-hmm.
DiBiase chops him, and he chopped him so hard it felt like I got chopped. So then I'm holding Jake again. I'm like, Virgil, chop him. Instead of chopping him, Virgil punches Jake in the dick as hard as he can. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, "Oh, hey, that works too."
Yeah, it was pretty much mayhem during your match there.
It went longer than 3 minutes.
It did go longer than 3 minutes. All right. Well, anyways, so this Saturday, Road to Super Indy, IWC. You can find out information IWCWrestling.com. Is there anything else?
Or check out that hype video too JTM made. It's very
that's
tantalizing
hype video. Holy shit! Yeah, I was really impressed with that. That makes me want to buy a ticket, and I'm going to be behind a camera. So
and you're going to be there getting arrested by me.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anything you want to throw out there before we let you go tonight?
Oh, no, I just want to say thanks for having me. And
wait, hold on, LB, what was that?
You got to keep the interview going. I'm finding too many good pictures.
Oh, we have to stretch this out. He tells me. Well, we just saw you. We just saw the Batman picture, and now here's you on the floor covered in blood. What the hell?
Covered in what?
Covered in blood.
This is the
blood
picture.
Oh. There's just like blood on the back of your head. And I think that's Facade laying there.
I thought I hit in the back of the head of the bottle.
The bottle.
Yeah, I saw a DVD the other night. Like I was wasted out of my mind, and Facade and Chima come to my house very late, and they think that like I'm entertained by bringing a DVD of me getting hit in the head with a bottle. Like that's what I want to see on a Friday night at 3 a.m. What they don't understand is if I take my hat off, my head will probably start bleeding anyway because I have so many holes in it from bottles and Sorg's wiener and stuff. I'm gonna remember that last part. Maybe.
Awesome. Hold on a second. Matt Mike says Jimmy D is one of the only people who could ask covered in what and expect many different answers.
Yeah, that's all I had to say. I mean, it could be different bodily fluids, peanut butter, petroleum jelly, all kinds of stuff.
There's you in a trash can.
I still have that trash can in my backyard.
There's you as a woman. This is Jimmy DeMarco. This is your wrestling career.
That's the greatest.
It's weird. It's weirder to see me in a picture with a woman than a garbage can.
Yeah. And Mayhem Missy wants to know what you want her to do to help you win.
So I need someone to monitor my table because I've never sold merchandise before, and I can't leave the backstage area until I have my match, or else I'll melt.
Or else you'll melt. Well, there you go. Oh, she's been doing good pushing those DVDs. So.
Oh yeah, she has. She sold me 2 on. We have a streak going, me and her. We sold 2 in Clearfield and 2 in Franklin.
Nice.
I'm good. That's all. That's all
the pictures. I'm allowed to end the interview now, Lunchbox.
Yeah. No.
I'll say real quick, if I make Ray Rowe bleed on Saturday, it'll allow a firework display in the parking lot, courtesy of the trunk of my car on Saturday night.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jimmy DeMarco. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. Maybe we'll get you back in the studio again one of these times.
I'm going to come back in the studio raped for Cage Fury, totally naked.
When is Cage Fury?
August 21st. At Core Time Sports Center.
Awesome. Do we have to bring in some fencing for you or something? Do we have to have some props?
I'll supply my own.
You'll supply your own. Fantastic. Great. All right, Jimmy DeMarco. Where are you at? Where you got MySpace or something people can check out, right?
I have MySpace and Facebook, so if they're smart enough, they can find me, just like the Crucifix Jesus was on.
If you want to ask me where Jimmy DeMarco is on Facebook, I'll tell you. We'll pass that along. So go check him out, IWCWrestling.com, and we'll see you Saturday.
I'll see you Saturday.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
I love you.
I'm fond of you too. Thanks. Jimmy DeMarco, ladies and gentlemen.
Jimmy fucking DeMarco.
What
is amazing.
As well as the Jimmy DeMarco interview will go.
That was spectacular. I came.
You came?
I came. I don't know about you, but I came.
Oh, the more I talk to him, the more I realize how true Joe Dombrowski's stories are about him. Wow. Oh my God! Hey, you wouldn't believe. I've had a hell of a weekend. The wrestlers and the stories that I've talked to, it's fantastic. But no, seriously, Night of Legends, it was a blast. Like Mayhem Missy talked about, Ted DiBiase was there, Coco Beware, Shane Douglas. Now I was there last year. Last year was the first time that I attended the press conference. Of course, let me bring in WrestleFan. We'll do a little bit of Mayhem or Indie Minute real quick too.
Roundtable.
But I was there last week or last year, and the only real thing that was real interesting was George the Animal Steel, because I never heard him talk before, right? So you know, I mean, he was really good and talked a lot, a lot of stuff you never heard about. Virgil was okay, he just talked about how Big Show was tall, or something like that, and there's a couple other guys there, and I can't really remember what they talked about, but nothing really stuck out. Whoa, there's a WrestleCopter a little bit.
WrestleCopter.
Hello. We'll be with you in 1 second, sir. But this year it was like Larry Zbyszko was the first guy. He talked about somebody asked him like how to get into the wrestling. Well, first he talked a little bit about his history with San Martino and stuff, which I don't know much about, to be honest, but it makes sense with the whole living legend thing. So since he was wrestling David, who we're pretty sure is a robot, by the way. And he was talking about how to get into wrestling, you should really just take the amateur route and go ahead all through college, and it'll give you all the tools you need to make it in pro wrestling, which I thought was interesting, because I don't know a lot of people that actually go that route. You know what I mean? Except as an afterthought. I don't think Kurt Angle thought about pro wrestling when he was at the Olympics. You know what I mean?
Fucking Kurt Angle.
Coco Beware was great. He talked about, I didn't know that the original Frankie died in a house fire while he was at church one year. No, I didn't know, by the way. Somebody asked about it, and he was telling a story, and he was telling about how he finally found, a bird that was worthy to be, the second Frankie. He didn't have the bird there.
Wait a minute, you fucking knew that.
Did I know that?
You knew that, because we had a discussion on the show about Coco Beware, and I fucking Wikipedia'd him.
Okay. That doesn't mean I retain this information.
You didn't know that.
You think I'm a fucking encyclopedia over here?
On Mr. Jim Shireman. That's what happened.
All right. But that was cool. Shane Douglas came out and once again told us how much the TV wrestling sucks. But no, it was really cool. It was really cool what he talked about. What's his face? Help me out here. It begins with the D. DiNucci. Dominic DiNucci was there at ringside for him in his match with Raven. And he talked about some pretty cool things. $1 Million Man was a really good one. He talked about how the industry's changed and how he's letting his kid, pretty much approving his kids going into it and everything. And he has some pretty good stories about his old teammates with Stan Hansen and Steve Williams, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, my mid-'80s non-WWF history is a little rough. So I'm sure I'm fucking all that up. Did Danushi know he was there? I don't know, but I had to tap him on the shoulder so I didn't kill him with my cord coming around the corner. But that was fun. Dominic DiNucci, I love that guy. He's just like he's like your grandpa, right? And he's just happy to be there. You know what I mean? And for all the stuff he's done, it's great to see him around and doing stuff. You know what I mean? So, but it was a lot of fun. Seeing $1 Million Man do his thing. And Chest Flexor, I have to give a lot of credit to Chest Flexor. One, he came out in a suit that looked exactly like the old $1 Million tuxedo thing going on, but with cent signs instead of dollar signs on the lapel sides, like the suit jacket. It was fantastic. And then he got run down. He cut a promo on Ted DiBiase after the match, got run down by Ted DiBiase, and got the whole sleeper hold money in the mouth. And I do believe they were real $1,000 bills. I got a pretty good close look. I think they were real $1,000 bills. I'm pretty sure that whole wad he has was his paycheck from Hall of Fame, at least. So, but that's my thoughts on Legends. That's what happened in indie wrestling, at least locally this week. I know, of course, Jack of all trios, which I think WrestleFan is going to tell us a little bit about real quick. I know Freaky had some stories. I'm sorry, Freaky, I didn't get them in there. There was a little much. I couldn't get anything really clipped out with the time restraints I had this week and everything, but I really apologize for that. Maybe we'll see about doing something with that a little bit later. But WrestleFan, real quick on an Indie Minute.
Okay, well, I'll start off my Indie Minute with a bit of ROH news, just a small bit. The pay-per-view numbers have come in for Ring of Honor's
and I'm really curious on how this is going to go with them.
I'm sorry?
I'm really curious what those look like.
Apparently they were in the 900 to 950 range, which was a success for the company, as they only need a few hundred to break even for their shows.
That's cool.
So the show did make a profit. The live attendance at the arena, which was the Grady Cole Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, was around 837, which in hindsight would have been, they might have chosen the wrong venue. Maybe something cheaper would have allowed to gain more profit. However, they did upon the venue because the Grady Cole Center was the home of the old Jim Crockett promotions back in the day. Okay. So they thought it would give a little bit more nostalgia value.
A little bit more history behind it, yeah.
Yeah. So, but overall, pretty much a pretty good success for Ring of Honor with their pay-per-view. They're looking to return back to Charlotte in the month of August. And now to move into a company I have covered a lot. Children's Athletes.
Oh, we had a little bit of glitching with you.
Their taping week at Berwyn, Illinois, right outside Chicago. A lot of big news coming from that event as Australian women's professional wrestler Madison Eagles became the new Shimmer champion. Defeated Mischief to become, as I mentioned, the third Shimmer champion in the history, the first being Sarah Del Rey. She unseated Mischief in her year-long reign as Shimmer champion, and hopefully Madison Eagles will be making a lot more appearances in Shimmer, as well as the Shimmer champion is used a little bit sparingly in ROH, so the question is if she'll be used in Ring of Honor as well.
Now, while we're on Shimmer, I don't know if I may be preempting you, but I want to throw the picture up while I have it handy. Have you seen this picture of Kelly Skater after her match? I have.
Apparently, she was in a singles match during the tapings with Mercedes Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are upset on the forums, getting chopped to shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is probably the proper word. You can see there on the video stream, she got absolutely destroyed, and that's the one thing I really do enjoy about Shimmer. They really do give women athletes the chance to, prove that they can hang, with the same kind of stuff that men can do. Obviously, that proves it right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. It is a nasty beating she took on the chest right there. Imply whatever you might. But I saw that. I was like, holy crap. All right. Anything else there real quick?
And the only thing I want to end with is, of course, the big show, AIW's Jack of All Trios tournament from Cleveland, Ohio this past weekend. The big 16-team trios tournament, eventually won by the team being deemed as, take this as you will, Team Oreo. Take it as you will. Lewis Linden, Flip Kendrick of Aeroform, and friend of the show, Johnny Gargano.
Yep, he's the cream in the middle. I said the Remedy, and he was like, I was like, did you see who came from AIW for King of Trios? And he's like, Team Oreo. I'm like, what? And I looked at the picture. Oh, I get it now. So I'm really looking forward. Of course, we're all going up to Chikara, at least, a few of us at least. I don't know if you saw WrestleFan. I think Remedy passed this my way. But if you go to IWCWrestling.com, there's a certain Chikara member that's involved in Super Indy next month.
There were actually a couple Chikara members in Super Indy. The 4 members obviously announced after Night of Legends tournament. It was Justin Idol after he won his match with Michael Facade.
Yeah, which was really good, by the way.
Azriel, who is a former Super Indy competitor, from my knowledge.
I enjoyed his matches when he was around.
Mm-hmm. And 2 Chikara competitors added former WWE star Colin Delaney, as well as breakout star for Chikara and also appearing at King of Trios this year, Frightmare.
And I think this is a debut for Frightmare. Also, Flip Kendrick and Lewis London that you just mentioned are going to be there. Prince Mustafa Ali, and also Johnny Gargano, the rest of the Oreo, Logan Chulo, and Justin Idol are listed for the event. I believe we have 2 more spots to fill. One's going to be filled by either Ricky Reyes or Shima Zion this Saturday at CCAC, and they have not announced the last spot. But that's going to be May 8th at the Courtime Sports Center, back home at the Courtime Sports Center. So IWCWrestling.com, check that out. I gotta hand it to him. I am really impressed with. We lost WrestleFan. His computer restarted out of nowhere as I was playing with it. So we're done with the Indie Minute, but no, I'm really impressed with what they're doing over there at IWCWrestling.com. Chuck Roberts is taking it under the ring. I talked to this guy when they're starting up, and this man had a vision for the website, and he's got his head together with JTM really tight, and they're doing really cool stuff over there. So if you haven't been there for a while, go check it out. I know they're getting really involved with the Twitter stuff and everything, so you can follow them with all the social media tools. And they're getting we're seeing a lot of videos coming out of them again, like there used to be. Leading up to these shows, so you can see what's going on if you've been out of the loop for a little bit, which I really do recommend. I mean, aside from I've been a long time fan. Of course, we all agreed on the show there was a bit of a dip for IWC, maybe about a year ago or so, but it's becoming fun again. DJ Lunchbox.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead to the music break that people are going to hear in the edit later. What are people listening to, sir?
Beep, boop, mimosa, lullaby, mayhem show. Dig it, fuckers, or else you'll get in trouble with the baby Jesus.
This is Deeeelicious Jimmy Demarco, and you're listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
DJ
Lunchbox of the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Oh, I'm sorry, champ. I think I ate your chocolate squirrel.
At WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Butt sex with WrestleFans, mom. That's right, folks. We are back here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm DJ Lunchbox, and I have a challenge for you out in the world of mayhem. If you go over to WrestlingMayhemShow.com, we have a donate button, okay? And I would like you to click on it. I would like you to click on it so much that I am willing to do physical harm to myself. That's right, folks. If I can raise, if we here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, if we can raise, I'm going to say $50. Just $50. This is like a fucked up NPR pledge drive, all right? If we can raise just $50, all right? Next week, live on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, I will rip out my own tooth. That's right, folks. No anything. I will grab, I will use my fingers, and if that doesn't work, I will find a pair of pliers, and I will rip out my own tooth.
Wait a
live
minute.
on the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Wait a minute. No, you can't do that, man. You can't do that.
Fuck that, and fuck you. I am dedicated to the show. I will rip out my tooth, my front tooth, not like a back tooth, my front tooth. I will tear it out live on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. If we raise just $50,
I don't think we're going to get $50. So let's be clear. This is not for charity. This is for the show.
It's for the show.
This is for the show. This is so I can buy like keyboards and shit, so that like computers don't restart and crap like they just did on WrestleFan last segment. I mean, that's all this is for. Right. This is so I can have a brand new mouse. This is what you're doing this for. We realize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the good of the show.
Or what other service?
Just $50. Now, if you want to pledge more than that, I am all for it. I wholeheartedly encourage it. I am going to put myself through tremendous amounts of pain, I assure you, next week on the show. But that's the price that I pay for the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Okay.
All right.
Donate to WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
I can't tell him no. So, shit, dude. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm just saying I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think
and we don't believe you.
I don't believe it.
What, you don't think that we'll get the donations, or you don't think I'll tear out my tooth?
If we get the donations, I know you'll do it.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident in that
I will
part.
fucking do it. No
but
lie.
I'm just saying I don't think you're gonna have to. I'm just saying I don't think we're gonna see it.
Look, as long as we get some kind of donation, something awful is gonna happen in my mouth.
Next week, Jimmy Demarco from the
awful happening in your mouth.
What do you mean awful? What do you mean awful?
Oh my God. Okay, let's move on. God, who am I talking to anymore? Mad Mike, what the fuck is with this top 10?
Yes.
What is with this top 10? Now, I agree with you. I do agree with you for, we lost Flashbox. He just went away.
No.
I'm still here.
Yeah, there he is.
Magic appears.
I gotta say,
brother, I like it.
Hey, we don't associate impersonations on this show.
No, of course not. Okay.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'll impersonate a motherfucker up now. I just impersonated Leonard Nimoy. For those of you who have a gold account.
We did not do any of the intro stuff. Oh my God. Well, for those of you who have stuck along this long, we do have a nice, spiffy little iPhone app right here. That's just my iPhone. And Jimmy DeMarco thanks us for being on the show. Yeah.
Jimmy DeMarco's penis will be on the gold app.
No. Oh, God. Oh.
No, it won't be. It might be, but it won't be.
Now, sir, like I said, some of your underrated tag teams, I must contest. All right, 3 count. Okay, Spirit Squad, I guess. It's just the way they were used and everything. They could do a lot cooler stuff.
3 count was this shit.
Natural Disasters, I'm with. Jindrak and Cade and the Natural Born Thrillers of Jindrak and O'Hare.
He didn't say Jindrak and Cade. He said Jindrak and
O'Hare?
Yeah, it's correct.
I said both.
Okay.
I said both.
You said both?
Yeah, he did say both.
I said both. I enjoyed Jindrak and Cade, damn it.
Well, that I'll disagree with.
Yeah, I will disagree.
Every time they were on TV, I was like, why the fuck are they getting a title run? these guys are annoying.
They were in WrestleMania.
Just make them go
They
away.
were a very vanilla tag team. I thought there was no excitement behind them. There weren't a great tag team per se. It's like saying that
20.
That's like saying that Crime Time was a great tag team. They're a great gimmick. You know what I mean?
Horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Hollywood Blondes. Now, I thought they got their crack at it.
No.
Yeah, some of these
I was watching. I think it was Pillman's DVD, Austin's DVD, and the WCW DVD.
Mm-hmm.
They all said that the Hollywood Blondes could have been at least 50 times bigger than they were going to be, and that they were going to get a run with the tag belts, which they never got. But they split up Austin and Pillman.
Huh.
Never got tag belts.
Well, they do have some really good matches. I know there was some stuff with them against Shane Douglas and Ricky Steamboat for a while there. So okay. Other than being WCW at the wrong time. High Energy, I'm with you. Actually, speaking of legends, somebody did ask about High Energy and why they split them up, and Coco's like he still doesn't understand why they got split up. So.
Mm-hmm. So they were an awesome tag team. I fucking love High Energy, especially with the pants were especially.
The pants were amazing.
Which I think Coco was wearing his High Energy pants to the ring, to be honest.
Nice, very nice.
That's incredible.
So High Energy is definitely one that I think they could have done a lot of fun stuff with. Money Inc. Again, probably not as good teams as Ted DiBiase's other teams that he's been in earlier in his career. But still,
I don't see Money Inc. as being underrated though.
Well,
I think they had their time. I mean, I remember them being like really strong heels, and that was a time when if someone was a heel, I hated them because I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So, I think they accomplished what they had set out to do.
Yeah.
But when you look at the tag teams around that time, you don't hear Money Inc.'s name mentioned. You hear
they're rubbing
Bushwhackers, Head Shrinkers more often than not.
Yeah, but that was the era of, like I said, the Head Shrinkers, the Steiner brothers. Maybe Legion of Doom might have still been there at that time. I mean, it's
Legion of Doom, Nasty Boys, Natural Disasters.
Yeah, and then Money Inc. I mean, it was a really interesting time, and there were a lot of teams that were definitely are also in legendary status. So I think they may have gotten. For being kind of more high profile because of who was in it, they might not have just had a chance to shine in comparison. I mean, it's not like they had a run against the Hart Foundation or anything, They had Hogan and Beefcake at WrestleMania.
But do not bring up the Megamaniacs, Sorg.
No, that was was that the Megamaniacs?
That was the Megamaniacs.
Wow.
Oh man!
Speaking
of Megamaniacs, if you go and look on WrestlingMayhemShow.com, there's a video of a promo cut by said Megamaniacs.
No, the Ultimate Maniacs.
Ultimate Maniacs. That's
oh my god! I watched that promo yesterday. That is the most amazing thing in the history of ever.
Watching the Ultimate Warrior try to do a Macho Man impression wearing those tights.
Oh man!
Because at some point in his what's that?
I was gonna say, why did people take so many drugs in the 80s?
Man, and that was the early 90s too.
Dude, that was 90s. They were up against I think Ric Flair and Razor Ramon.
That's right. That's right.
Correct.
Wow, look at that.
Tag team for the ages, Ric Flair and Razor Ramon.
Wow. Oh no, Eliminators
coming soon to a TNA ring near you. Guarantee it.
Eliminators I can agree with as well. They were definitely one of the most highly skilled tag teams they had going on there. Because I mean, what else they had? The Gangsters and Public Enemy and the Dudley Boys, which for the most part were hardcore guys. You know what I mean? So not so much for the skill. But
and they had the Impact Players, which were awesome.
Impact Players. Was that that's Justin Credible and Lance Storm, right?
Yes,
that's a team. I'm sorry, that is a team that probably should be on this list.
I don't think they're underrated.
I think the only people that are not underrated from ECW as a tag team are the Dudley Boys.
Well,
but most
I consider that
get scope like in.
We gotta vote from Riz for Animal and Heidenreich.
Ew.
So,
Riz,
don't even go
jump
there.
off a bridge. Go jump off a bridge.
Jump off a bridge. All right, let's get into it. We got lots of news to try to get through. Let's see what's going on in the world. Of course, the big news came out today in a press release. SmackDown is moving to Sci-Fi October 1st. So their big move off of network TV for the first time in its history. Still going to be on Friday. And NXT is not on the listings after that point.
Wow.
Canceled.
Yes.
But, I wouldn't say it was canceled.
Well, but still, it sounds like they're still going to have it
ratings
through that
of TNA.
point. I'm thinking it's going to be. I think we're going to get another batch of guys because I can't see this stretching all the way until October. And it's going to be. We're going to do maybe
until October.
Maybe we'll do two. Maybe it'll be a seasonal thing.
Sorg, the way it's scheduled is, I think in 4 weeks they have another vote, and then they have elimination that week, and they have weeks of elimination until they get to a final four.
So it could stretch till October.
Theoretically, probably.
When this is all said and done, we're gonna have David Otunga, and we're gonna have the American Dragon, and that's it. That's the end of it. I don't care.
And everybody else will be doing
and neither does
shows
anybody else.
in Poughkeepsie, New York, and Cleveland, Ohio. And
Poughkeepsie.
Hey,
it's fun to
So,
say. Dude.
did you guys check out the lineup for NXT tonight, though?
No, somebody mentioned about it. I guess it was you in the chat room. What's going on?
I think it was me. Main event. Well, it's the rookies are going in against pros with their mentors and their rookies at ringside. Christian's going to take on Wade Barrett with Heath Slater and Chris Jericho at ringside. But the one I'm looking forward to the most, Bryan Danielson, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan, versus William Regal.
Ooh,
that is going to be a good match.
We're going to have to be watching that during the edit this week. Awesome. Speaking of people that used to be on Tuesday nights, Ezekiel Jackson is injured during the Overseas House Show. I know.
Broke the news. Who broke the news? The Wrestling Mayhem Show broke the news.
That's
That's
right.
who did
LB tossed it out on Twitter. Through Mayhem.
We tossed it out for 6 months. I mean, bam. We were on top of it.
At Mayhem Show. That's right.
You hear somewhere between second and third.
Exactly. Somewhere in the mix, you heard it here.
Well, because I think didn't Zeke break it first technically on his Twitter.
Shut up! You're ruining. Shut up.
Just...
I don't know what you're.
Well, I'm just saying it came from the horse's mouth.
Whatever
and
you're trying to call
it from the horse, of course, because no one can talk to a horse, of course.
Oh man! So, what did everybody think of TNA regurgitation last night? And who didn't silence their phone?
Sorg.
Yes.
What the hell?
What the fuck?
Sorg, is that you?
No.
What do you mean?
Not
No.
me.
It ain't me either.
What the fuck?
What the fuck was that?
I have no idea.
Wow.
Was
someone singing
That's
Casa La
amazing.
Mia?
What was that?
Okay, let's just pretend that didn't happen. So TNA...
The internet has become sentient. We must destroy it.
TNA reaction. What'd you guys think of that, those who watched it? And I'm sorry.
Sorg, I will only say one quote I heard on TNA reaction, and that will sum up my entire belief on it. Hulk Hogan said, "A modern-day hero like Jeff Hardy."
Yeah. No, I was just like, really?
Well, you know something, brother. He's a modern-day hero because he didn't get busted for his heroin, brother. We used to get busted back in the day.
No lie.
Hey, it wasn't heroin. It was the ganja.
No, seriously.
Heroin.
There's something, and again,
RVD is ganja.
I got a lot from
Hardy is heroin.
I got a lot from this weekend.
was
Shane
acid.
Douglas said a lot of stuff about how the people on TV can't talk, okay, and how not entertained we are by the wrestling we watch, and how this is a problem. Now, that was not demonstrated as highly as watching TNA. I want to say rejuvenation, but that's not right. Reaction? Was it the? I've made up too many names for this show that I've forgotten what the real name is.
I call it TNA abortion.
There you go, with that capital B. Now, okay. Now you can throw out there if you think the promo work and everything of the talkers, if they're really, if that you like them or don't like them on Monday night. But the people that I think should be good talkers, the Pope, for instance, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan's a pretty good talker for what he does. I mean, for being Hulk Hogan. But like, let's just get past that point. But every backstage, I'm saying promo. I know this was the reality of wrestling, according to the opening segment of that show. But every segment on there where we went backstage and talked to somebody was awkward, and it just it didn't.
I was surprised they stretched that out for 30 minutes.
For somebody for an hour. For an
Oh,
hour.
it was an hour?
It was a recap show of last week's episode of Impact with backstage commentary from the participants. Sporadically thrown out.
I watched like the last 20 minutes
in
of it.
character, mind you. Yet they're calling it the reality of wrestling. Okay, we saw like one guy getting stitched up. There's your reality, I guess. After he got the beer bottle on his head. But still, come on, guys. You're insulting the. I hate to throw like a smart.
Intelligence. I mean,
yeah, because I mean, it's guys. We know the deal. I know you're trying to get us to suspend belief, but you're pretty much flashing in our faces how fake this is. Okay. When these guys like,
Sorg, you want to know why NXT seems more real to me?
Why?
Because I know that if Michael Tarver is the first one eliminated from that show, I don't ever expect to see him again. That's how real NXT is to me. The guys that obviously are not cut out for WWE, like Michael Tarver, like Skip Sheffield, when they get eliminated and voted off that show, regardless of how fake the vote is, I don't ever expect to hear from those people again. They will not even be Diva Search losers.
Well, for some, Diva Search was a fan thing, so if they liked them, it didn't matter,
Yeah.
But back to what I was talking about, but like the Pope.
Well,
Elijah Burke, the Pope, D'Angelo Dinero, whatever his name he is this week. I have loved anytime he's gotten in the ring with a microphone. Loved it over the past like month or so, right? And this is just awkward and pathetic, I thought. I think the show's pathetic. And I thought TNA was okay last week, especially compared to the week before. I mean, it was a lot of, people may say, oh, there was a, big snafu at the end and stuff. It's like, I'm sorry, you're building up to an 8-man in a cage match. That's how you build up to that kind of match. That's what I completely expect TNA to end in. Oh, and by the way, WWE, that's exactly how I expect you to end, to bore the shit out of me. I actually turned over to another channel at the end of Raw last week because I was just bored to tears at seeing two guys, that I've seen a million times fucking wrestle. It's like, oh, now Batista's the bad guy. Who gives a fuck? Orton's still an asshole,
Yeah.
Well, even we're cheering for him or not, he's still the same fucking Orton, and he's doing a different pose at the end of the match. And it's not even, it's just, whatever.
Although,
I'm sorry.
Whatever. I like the post-match segment on Raw.
Why? What about it?
Well, the fact that they actually put over both of their champions at the same time.
Yeah,
it's not often WWE's able to do that and do it effectively.
Just because they happen to be in England and they're all in the house. But still, you expect.
Well, no, Swagger wasn't in the house. Swagger wrestled a dark match. Swagger wrestled a main event on a SmackDown house show, and then traveled to Raw in this within a couple hours of each other. He pulled double duty. He came in specifically just to do that one segment.
But wait, I am mixing it together SmackDown because I remember the segment of him standing in the back, but that was SmackDown last week. I apologize. But still, even with all the champions getting in there and throwing moves on, I was like, okay, here we go again. We haven't seen this before, or yay. So I mean, the most interesting thing they've done in the last few months was, something involving Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, something different, even though it was the same as last year. And, we kind of passed some good builds to WrestleMania, but then the matches, a lot of them didn't even, live up the WrestleMania hype. So, and the more I watch
WrestleMania isn't a reset anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a continuation of stuff. Like we have, even though this is Extreme Rules and it's not Backlash, we have a lot of rematches.
We do. It is Backlash with stipulations, which is kind of what Backlash became eventually, anyways. Let's. Any other commentary? Anybody else enjoy the Hoff last night?
Oh, the Hoff was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was probably the best part of the whole episode.
The guy was so into it and had this over the top energy, but it's like completely what we expected from him, and it was perfect. And we had the Knight Rider.
Yeah, Kit thought John Cena could beat Michael Tarver in 20 seconds.
I geeked for the Knight Rider.
I popped for the Knight Rider theme. Yes, I did.
Yeah. And I know we've kind of been dissing on the Divas and some of the crap they've been doing with them, but the Baywatch Beauties match made sense and it was great. Come on.
I'll argue that
wait. The 16-year-old has a problem with the Baywatch Beauties match.
That's because
something is wrong
boys.
Here. Oh, that's right.
He doesn't like watching midgets run.
Another discussion from last night. Hornswoggle, the most famous, most successful professional wrestler midget, or the most successful midget. Although I put Wee Man. What? Anyways, moving on. Anyway, Jeff Hardy's.
I'd argue that Rey Mysterio is a more successful midget.
All right. Former WWE star completes rehab for pain pill addiction. That would be Zach Gowen, ladies and gentlemen. Is just coming out for that, and I know he's popped up in shows around Pennsylvania and Ohio. So,
wrestlers with pain pill addiction really don't have one leg to stand on.
Oh, I knew somebody.
Sorry,
somebody had to pick that up.
I know. I had to do it.
Yes, Riz, man. Fuck Zach Gowen. Fuck it. Go away. I don't give a shit anymore.
Aww.
Oh yeah, one leg.
Just like Lunchbox would do. Hit on the one-legged people.
Lots of people have one leg. Congratulations.
He was a little ridiculous in JCW.
I'm not interested. Doesn't make you a good wrestler.
But we were talking about TNA earlier. A lot of people in the wrestling world are lashing out at TNA. One of the first were being Paul Heyman, former ECW owner, commented on his Twitter page saying, quote, "Heels beat up baby faces swear revenge, people tune in, holy shit, the formula is not that effing complicated, people."
Yeah, when Paul Heyman's lecturing
and honestly, I can't,
Good.
I can't really disagree with him.
No. It is kind of like haphazard. I don't know where... That's a formula that we should stick to, okay? I know I complain about Raw being too, okay, we've seen this a million times, guys. This is why your numbers are flattening, because you're doing the same build to every pay-per-view. No matter what stipulation you're throwing at pay-per-views to try to get... Oh, Batista's Spotlight deal. I do kind of like that.
And I like Vladimir Kozlov threatening to get MacGruber.
Regardless of what's happening, Santino is always a highlight, and they love him in England.
Mm-hmm.
So,
also, I was going to say, speaking of that, also, Lance Storm claims that he is done with watching TNA wrestling. One of the things that he claimed was the reason for this was during a match between Rob Terry and Homicide, where I believe Homicide hit Terry with an unprotected chair shot.
WrestleFan, he didn't hit Rob Terry with an unprotected chair shot. He literally tried to cave in the man's skull.
Yeah.
He came close because if you notice after the match, like he leans down to sort of stare at Homicide. He comes back and there's like a line of blood dripping from his head.
Yeah. That looked cool. But now that we've seen how many people that have had concussions, Chris Nowinski, how many people who have had supposed brain damage that led to the death of them and their family, Chris Benoit, and other people.
One of the things, or I was going to say, one of the things Lance Storm pointed out was This unprotected chair shot to the head came just 2 days after Chris Canyon's suicide death.
Exactly.
I just couldn't stomach it.
Exactly. And there was a lot of people commenting on Chris Canyon this past weekend. And it's just, it's bullshit. Like, we should be smarter than this as far as the wrestling promotion goes. It's like, okay, that's what we got over on. That's what everybody got off on 10 years ago when ECW was big. Okay. Yes, as the one guy between the ropes said, yes, we have the Dudleys to blame for that. But now this could have been something that Homicide and Rob Terry decided to do. Okay, that's completely possible. I don't know, but TNA should not be encouraging.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it right, Sorg.
No. But as a company, TNA shouldn't be encouraging it. Certainly not. Nobody in the back, Vince Russo, Hulk Hogan, nobody should be fucking encouraging that. And it's again, one thing I saw in reaction was that fall of Kurt Angle, and I think I tweeted, it's like, Kurt Angle, I love watching Kurt Angle wrestle, TNA or not. I love his stuff with Anderson lately, but I just recently watched the Mania of WrestleMania, the WrestleMania 19 documentary, and it was about the time when he went into shock after his match with Brock Lesnar, because he was worried going into the match about his health and his neck. Okay, during one of his, it definitely wasn't the last neck injury he had, following that match. But that's an interesting video that came up. Sorry, I clicked something, and it's distracting me.
Porn.
No, not porn.
Yeah, so also, speaking about TNA, apparently, not only... Oh, go ahead.
No, go.
Okay, not only people in the wrestling world upset with TNA, it's possible that some of the people inside of, the TNA roster are unhappy, mainly the Knockouts.
Yeah.
In 2 cases, on Twitter, Taylor Wilde, one half of the former Knockout Tag Team Champions, a fan apparently responded to her on Twitter, very upset about her lack of TV time in recent weeks. And the former Knockout champion responded with, quote, "Yeah, ... I'm not too thrilled about it either." And then we had a case earlier today, thanks to Diva Dirt, of ODB commenting after obviously the match between Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, the leather and lace match on last night's Impact, where she said, "Just watch from my DVR the Knockouts match. Wow, what the WTF is happening to our division?"
Yeah, it's definitely pretty different, and there's the obvious influences to what's changed it. There's a lot of talk about, Awesome Kong and Gail Kim. That's what made the Knockouts division before. They actually had wrestling matches with the beautiful people and everything, but now it's all this gimmicky crap. And
I'm sorry.
It's not just the gimmick stuff. I mean, look at,
Sorry, what's that, Mike?
I was just wondering, what the hell happened to Daphne? Well, I mean, last week, she loses to Spider, and she doesn't get the Knockouts title, and she gets hit in the head by Lacey Von Erich, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Nothing?
Also,
she'll probably come out to help?
Also,
she'll probably be gone from the company in a month.
I think, so they tape these, back to back, right? Day to day, right? And now,
Monday, Tuesday.
I think that's part of the problem. They're still going to, we have all this talent. We feature them every other week. Oh, and by the way, that's bullshit that the Mercy Machine Guns, that was their title defense that they won Ultimate X for. Seriously? Yet they're still fighting over that first
contender. You knew as soon as they won that match, they weren't going to get those belts.
No.
However, that was a good match. That was a pretty good match.
And then we had Generation Me. I hate it because I hate when people are like, "Oh, he got pinned. That means he's getting buried and stuff." But it does say something. It's more astounding to me when somebody like Generation Me that puts on a great performance with Motor City Machine Guns at doing the Ultimate X, then end up in a handicap gauntlet match against the X Division champion. I think it was
Douglas Williams.
Yeah, Douglas Williams. It's just
because TNA has spent way too much of their roster space and spent way too much of their money on talents like Sting, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, all these other main talents they're bringing in. They don't have room in their X division. They don't have room in their Knockouts division and sometimes you need them jobber style wrestlers, wrestlers that can put over your top wrestlers in your division.
Riz, can we send this segment to Bischoff for constructive criticism? I'm sorry, it's frustrating to shout me. I want to like you, TNA. I really want to like you. I really give you a chance, and I like a lot of stuff you're doing. You know, it is. You know, where WWE is seriously boring me to tears. You know, with that crap that they do on Monday night. You know, okay, my high point is David Hasselhoff and the fact that Flavor Flav is coming to Pittsburgh when I'm going to be there, okay? That's right. That's how we're going out with Raw and Mellon Arena before it gets caved in at the end of the year. We get Flavor fucking Flav.
Flavor Flav should wear the doomsday clock on his chest for the countdown.
That's right, to the
destruction of Mellon.
There got to be a reference for that thing. But it's okay. We're going to get Royal Rumble next year. But not after Lady Gaga opens up the Console Center. Oh, boy. And speaking of unsafe things in wrestling, did you see the fireball? No, because apparently it was censored. I thought I looked away and missed it. What?
Yeah, that's
they have it on TNA's website.
They do have it on TNA's website. It looks like a pretty mean fireball. What is wrong with Jeff Hardy and things catching him on fire? And LB, I think you have a side comment about Jeff Hardy we didn't get to last week.
That's a good point. I meant to bring this up on the show last week, but I didn't get to it, and I apologize for that.
We did. Well, I apologize.
Jeff Hardy on Twitter.
We had technical problems last week, so we didn't get to a lot of things. But go ahead.
If you follow Jeff Hardy on Twitter, at Jeff Hardy Brand, you'll notice that Jeff Hardy is afraid of spaces. Now, this is completely understandable. I mean, it's annoying on the surface, but if you really put some thought into it, it's really rather kind of sad. Jeff Hardy, as we all know, likes to experiment with psychotropic drugs. He likes to eat the mushrooms, take the acid, do things that, as Jim Morrison of the Doors would say, expands your mind, man. So as a result, I mean, you know, you spend a lot of time floating around in the ambient goo of the universe that is Jeff Hardy's brain, and it's a horrifying situation, a horrifying proposition, especially if you're Jeff Hardy. I personally would not want to be him. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, when you spend that much time thinking about the universe in such a fashion, what it really boils down to is the argument between existentialism and nihilism. Okay, existentialism is no, I'm sorry, nihilism. Nihilism is, well, let me put it this way. Have you ever seen the movie I Heart Huppies? Go and see it. It's great. It illustrates my point perfectly. Okay, everything in the world.
Okay.
Let me. I'm going to illustrate my point right here with these little B12 tablets. Okay. Now, here is two atoms. Okay, two atoms of existence. And they are side by side rubbing against each other. Now, what is between those two atoms? There are two schools of thought. Oh, there's nothing. Or if you look close enough, there are more atoms in between, and it goes on forever and ever and ever. And when you take as many drugs as Jeff Hardy has, you get horrified and obsessed with the thought, oh, maybe there's nothing. Maybe it's just darkness and blackness and nothing forever and ever. That's why he can't not do stupid things, because he has to. It's something my mom used to say. Do something even if it's wrong. And Jeff Hardy is always doing something wrong because he can't find something else to do. He has to fill those tiny spaces in between his life with stupid things like being caught on fire or jumping off things or working for a company that's also going to kill him. And he can't stand those spaces between his words. So really, when you read Jeff Hardy's tweets, you just feel bad for him.
That was amazing.
Now, see, I thought Jeff just wanted to make his tweets look like lines of coke so he could snort them and gain his knowledge.
Lunchbox, will you please teach me science?
He's probably stoned enough. He thinks that's possible. Yes.
Did you just hear WrestleFan? Please teach me science.
What's that?
Please teach me science.
Please teach me science.
That's more philosophy than science.
WrestleFan, you realize I'm a master's student in chemical engineering, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then how do you qualify DJ Lunchbox's statement and his examples as a chemical engineer?
He's absolutely right.
No, there you go. There you go. There's where you
See,
are.
this is what I'm saying.
There we are. So,
it's not like I'm just making stuff up.
and in other news, Seven Sins by Maria Kanellis is out right now for you to buy on iTunes. It's $3.99.
Sexy.
It's 4 songs. You can get Maria in your earlobes.
Really? $3.99 for 4 songs?
Yeah, so
it's 4 songs, Justin.
It's 4 songs. It's $1 a song. So, but I was astonished that's all her album is. So go check that out. If we get any donations, maybe I'll buy it for the Mayhemers. So
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it was supposed to be longer, but because of her recent employment situation, it was cut short and she needed the money.
Oh.
Also, in more TNA news, which is not a surprise to anyone, Hulk Hogan is getting a new radio show.
Thank you for bringing this up. It almost slipped my mind. Right here it says. Hold on, I'm sorry, I lost it. Do you have it in front of you?
He's launching his own radio show on Sirius XM satellite radio, which I do have actually. It was announced on, of course, Bubba the Love Sponge radio show today that Hulk Hogan Uncensored will air Mondays at 7 p.m. on the Howard 101 channel.
Howard? Really? On Howard?
Well, no, Sorg, Howard 101 is the channel for Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah, it's like, but it's one of Howard Stern's.
Howard 100 is what Howard Stern broadcasts on.
But it's still, it's
Howard
one of Howard
101
Stern's networks. That's what Bubba's on. It's one of Howard Stern's networks.
Well, he's on Sirius. He just happens to be on Howard's channel because that's where Bubba the Love Sponge is.
Yeah. So
the Love Sponge needs to die.
But still, and then I think us fans, you that brought up an interesting point. It actually, what you said, from 7 to 8 every Monday, right before their Impact.
Yeah,
which is fine every other week. What's that?
A little bit weird though because they announced Reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Reaction isn't live.
It isn't live, but still, I mean, it is competition. But you can say that they're grasping for everything they can get. And not everybody has Sirius. Let's be honest.
Did we also report that Kurt Angle's getting married?
Yes.
Yeah, and we mentioned that last
Kurt
week.
Angle?
Wait, Kurt Angle's
Jeff
getting
Jarrett?
married.
No, Jeff Jarrett, we mentioned last week, is engaged to Karen Angle. This week, Kurt Angle announced his engagement to his girlfriend of unknown name, and it is not Raka Khan.
Aw.
What is he doing? Kurt Angle. Kurt.
Oh, he is just following the pattern.
No.
Soon the dog's going to be in the yard, Sorg.
Kurt. Okay, Kurt. Listen, Kurt, again, we go back to this. I love your work, okay? You represent Pittsburgh well as an Olympic champion and a very accomplished professional wrestler. Don't become a fucking statistic, okay? Please, Kurt, I'm over here in Beachview. I know you're nearby. I mean, I work in Mount Lebanon. Come on, man. We can give me a call someday. Drop an email. goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. Here, I'll put it even on the screen for you. Or if that Justin Hawk dude that manages you gets a hold of you, maybe. I'm not a weird stalker or anything like that. There's my phone number. But they call the hotline.
Wrestling Mayhem Show. We're not weird stalkers.
Listen. We can meet up. We're working on taglines. Let's think of that. Hold that. Get me with that later. We'll meet up, have lunch at Aldo's, and I can talk some fucking sense into you, okay? I want you to be my Olympic hero, not the American. Okay? So
Swagger. The all-American stalker.
That's right. So there's my little public service announcement. Okay, that's enough of that, guys. I think we got through everything important because we're all buying the Maria album this week and not having Kurt Angle as a role model. God, you're so good. Stop it. What's that?
Nah, I just yelled Kurt Angle sucks dick.
Oh, and Sorg, guess what? something very quick. My friend Danny has an interview with World Wrestling Entertainment on Thursday.
What the hell? Did you even get hired by them?
I have not gotten hired.
What the hell, dude? Okay, first of all, here's what I'm doing. This is also what I'm doing. I discovered the Mega Bus today, okay, guys? It's coming to Pittsburgh, okay? It's $1 to $25 for me to take a 7.5 hour trip that drops me off in the middle of Manhattan, and I'm sure I can get something from there to Stanford, Connecticut, because apparently everybody's interviewing for fucking WWE headquarters, and I'm getting in on this.
Wait, you can take a Megabus to New York? Wait, you can take a Megabus to New York?
Yes, they just announced it today. It's going to start like May 4th.
Come to ROH on May 8th.
On May 8th? I don't think, no. Well, first of all, May 8th is Super Indy, so I'm going to be occupied. But don't believe me, you're going to be seeing more of us up there in New York. I mean, seriously, I actually signed up for this thing. I got 5 tickets round trip to New York, like the first weekend of May. It was going to be $10.50 if I went through with it. $10.50 for 5 people round trip.
Oh my God! Does this work both ways? Because I'll be down there in a heartbeat.
There you go. There you go.
Now.
So yeah, New York City was much more accessible. It's like walking across the neighborhood to your local sub shop for Pittsburgh now. So, but anyways, I don't know what's going on in the chat room because apparently my window crashed. I'm sorry. But on that note, guys, I gotta learn. First with WrestleFan, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, you're on the spot. What's up? What's up, WrestleFan? You've been dropping me all these
WrestleFan
tidbits.
It's like you didn't know this was coming.
Yeah, like you had never listened to the show before, and you've been dropping me all these nice tidbits all week. So I thought, man, this guy's been thinking a lot about wrestling. He's got to have something that he learned.
Thinking about shit. I'm up on NyQuil.
You up on NyQuil? Everybody drugged up tonight. Fuck.
I'm not drugged up.
Okay. I learned from wrestling. I'm trying to say what I learned from wrestling.
Let him go. Let him go.
I'm about to fall asleep in like 20 seconds from this NyQuil.
Okay, then let's go. What'd you learn?
But I learned from TNA Wrestling that, as we mentioned before, their knockouts are officially no different than the Divas.
No, we were sometimes. I miss when when girl wrestlers would wrestle. Yeah.
So did you catch Velvet mooning someone in the crowd?
No.
Yeah, you gotta watch that back.
Okay, that's what the replay on Thursday is for, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what regurgitation is for next Monday.
Yeah, they won't put that on because it's actually something I want to watch. Mad Mike, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned from wrestling this week that Hornswoggle should rename his finisher to the Heimlich Splash.
There you go.
God, that was awful.
Oh, and Taz can't fucking touch me.
Served. You should put that on your resume. I served Taz on Twitter. DJ Lunchbox, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that Jimmy DeMarco has strange and wonderful powers.
That's right. Over the Mayhem universe. Fantastic.
Hey, Sorg,
wrestling this week.
Did you all just ask me at the same time?
I think
that
was
Jimmy's gonna fuck you sideways.
What?
That's what Sorg learned this week.
Okay. I learned that Dixie Carter died this week, but not the one that you think of.
That's what I forgot to bring up.
Not the one that was supposed to.
Whoa!
WrestleFan, no.
That's not
WrestleFan. That is a bad WrestleFan.
That's a bad WrestleFan. Wow.
That is a bad WrestleFan. We are having way too much influence on you.
No, I saw that all over Twitter the other day.
TNA sucks.
So over TNA the other day, I'm like, no. I actually had to.
You need to drink NyQuil before you come on the show more often.
It works for Lunchbox. No. I had to actually go on Google and verify that it was that Dixie Carter. Because I'm like, wait. This is getting way too big a press for this to be who I think it is. So, but no, Designing Women. Yeah, we all watched it. I had 3 channels, okay?
Speaking of Dixie Carter, a Twitter account you all need to start following TNA Dixie LOL. Oh my god.
What is it?
It's like if we made a Dixie Carter account on Twitter. That's the best way I can explain it.
Sasquatch in the chat room says he knows that he was learning how to be a free runner. I'm not sure what that's about. I presume
as opposed to a jailed runner.
freestyle walking. So.
Freestyle walking? I don't know.
Yeah.
Urban Ninja. Oh, there you go. What the hell?
Yeah, it's spelled with a U. No, I don't know.
Hey, he's only 14, man.
Parkour.
Oh, parkour. That's the other thing I learned. I want to see John Morrison in Ninja Warrior.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you need to email us, for one thing, at goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. Okay? Please, especially you, Kurt Angle. And, of course, please chime in. Sound bites are welcome.
Awesome.
Criticisms are welcome. If you want your voice on the show, please phone us at 412-206-WMS0. And, of course, we got the site up there, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, Twitter @MayhemShow. We got info all the time over there, news articles. We got a review of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Damage. Whoa. We have a retro review by Mad Mike.
Review Secret Life Maurice.
Yeah, we got... Whoa, I'm getting to that. Mad Mike with a Bash of the Beach review from back in the day, thanks to On Demand. And some really interesting, scary pictures that keep freaking me out, DJ Lunchbox. Stop it.
I look like Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, about that. Here's what I was welcomed to. That's so scary. And the Junkyard Dog, apparently. So, and then not to mention, of course...
Well, no, Junkyard
Dog
it's
like a Pokemon evolution.
Slice. He totally looks like me.
Let's see, what's it? Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry.
It's like a Pokemon evolution.
Hold on.
Junkyard Dog learned and evolved into Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice learned nerd, and you put nerd glasses on Kimbo Slice, and it evolves into Lunchbox.
What the fuck?
Lunchbox use steroids. It's super effective.
Picture overlord.
Oh man! And
that
of
was
course,
a picture of, why is there a picture of Chachi?
I was looking for the other picture and I lost it. And of course, thanks to Jimmy DeMarco, our guest this evening, and we'll see him. He'll see me this Saturday. Oh boy!
DeMarco is going to raid Sorg in the ear. He's going to raid Sorg in his ear hole.
Sideways.
Interesting.
Sideways.
There's no other way to do it besides sideways, WrestleFan.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Wrestling Mayhem Show. I'm Sorgatron. I'm at Sorgatron.com, at Sorgatron. DJ Lunchbox is at...
That's DJ Lunchbox, Thoughtfulriot.com, Twitter.com/DJ Lunchbox, and also ThisAmericanLife.org.
Yes, WrestleFan, where are you at?
The WrestleFanRunner.wordpress.com, and then at WrestleFan2000 on Twitter.
There you go, and Mad Mike.
Jesus.
There's a dog.
Whoa, dog. There's a dog. Squirrel.
The dog just made me poops.
The dog makes me poop. Blogspot.com.
Oh, who knows what that is?
Twitter.com/MadMike4883. Watch me own more of your favorite TNA stars.
All right, guys, this has been WrestleMania Show 214. It's been a lot of fun. Please join us next week. Please chime in. It's your show too, guys. Wrestling Mayhem Show. Sorgatron Media.
We're coming for you, Mike, tonight.
Oh, hey, you live guys. If you want to tune in next week, we are planning to be moving the Ashley After Hours to 10 o'clock after the recording of this show, basically right now. So we're going to have to start do a better time on this show. So if you want to tune in live for several shows and join us in all the fun and different people and different discussions, and me talking about Lady Gaga or whatnot we're talking about this week. But it's fun. Come
Lady
check it out.
Whatnot? Is that Lady Gaga's new name?
AshleyAfterHours.com. We'll have information when that's all confirmed up. I just want to throw that out there. And we'll see you guys next week.
I'm gonna go puke my lungs out.
Tweet me if you can. Survive if I let you.
I did not get that.
Thank you for listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Please subscribe to our iTunes streams and blog at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Email us at goodtimes@WrestlingMayhemShow.com or call us with any comments at 412-206-WMS0. We love to hear from our fans, and who knows, maybe you'll make it onto the show.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show was recorded live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in front of a live internet audience, and is a production of Sorgatron Media.
You can be part of the show as we record live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on TalkShoe.com and Ustream.tv.